Tonight on the late edition of KODE News.
Well, from bloodstains to fingerprints, it's the scene of a murder, and for more than 2 decades, investigators have called on a local Sherlock Holmes.
As Michelle Kingsfield tells us, this investigator is close to solving his last case.
Going fishing. I have a houseboat on Table Rock Lake that I haven't spent a night in 2 years. And so I'm going down there, and, well, I have a lot of plans.
After 22 years of helping put together an outstanding criminal justice program, Don Seneker has decided his crime-solving days are over. In the time he's been here, Don Seneker has set up Missouri Southern's crime lab, making it one of the best in the state, and at the same time help make criminal justice the largest major on campus. Don's done everything from teaching to starting a recruiting program, while also running a crime lab police rely on to solve murders.
Before we set up the crime lab, the Joplin Police Department collected 2 pieces of physical evidence. One was a glass fragment and one was a blood stain. For photographs, they hired a professional photographer to do any photographing of accidents or crime scenes, and also they did very little of it.
Don's given his all to the college, but he's not walking away empty-handed.
We have just a wealth, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of former students and police officers everywhere, and not just police officers, in all lines of work, that I'll be able to count among my friends for the rest of my life.
July 29th, Don will say goodbye to Missouri Southern, and for him, there couldn't be a better time.
Gives me the chance to get out while I still have my boyish good looks and charm and humility, and it gives me a chance for maybe even another career. It's a great big world, and I'm not at all tired of the one I've been in, but I want to look over the next hill, too, and see what's over there.
In Joplin, Michelle Kingsfield, KODE News.
Good morning. Welcome to the 19th annual commencement of Missouri Southern State College. I don't think there is a better deserving group of people this morning than these graduates. And that is why the good Lord has sent us this wonderful weather, just for you. At this time, I would like to make some introductions, if you please. Ask these individuals to stand, and I would like to ask you, please, to withhold your applause until we have introduced all of them. Starting on my far right, have Dr. John Tiddy, Dean of the Business School and Vice President for Business Affairs. Next to him, Mr. James Maupin, Dean of the School of Technology. Mr. Elvin Amo, Member of the Board of Trustees. Mr. John Phelps, Member of the Board of Regents. Mr. William Putnam, Jr., Member of the Board of Regents and President of the Board. We'll skip our speaker for a few minutes, Rabbi Lori Simon Goldman. Mr. Terry James, Member of the Board of Regents and President-elect. Mr. Gil Roper, Member of the Board of Regents. Dr. Ray Malzahn, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Ed Merriman, Dean of the School of Education, Psychology, and Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. I know the psychology faculty and the physical education faculty probably wanted me to do that. Dr. Lenny Ackes, Member of the English faculty and President of the Faculty Senate. And Dr. Glenn Dolans, Vice President for Student Services. Let us recognize them, please. Pride and personal satisfaction that I introduce our speaker. I don't think that there is a faculty member at Missouri Southern State College that is held in highest regard and esteem by every member of the faculty than our speaker today. Donald Seneker has been a member of the faculty at Missouri Southern State College since 1971. Prior to that, he was Chief of Police of Lee's Summit and Riverside, Missouri. At Missouri Southern State College, Don Seneker has distinguished himself for outstanding teaching. And because of that consistent high level of performance, he was recognized in 1982 when he was given the Outstanding Teacher Award at Missouri Southern State College. He has distinguished himself in service to the college community by participating in innumerable committees on campus that are part of our governance system. He has been elected to the Faculty Senate for 3 terms, including the last year in which he was president of the Faculty Senate. In the classroom, on campus, and off campus, Don Seneker has distinguished himself, and as such, he has always made every individual who belongs to the Missouri Southern community proud to be a member of this college. It is, as I said, with a great deal of pride, satisfaction, that I present to you our speaker this morning, Mr. Don Seneker.
I brought this up to the podium with me. It's tradition with me that I read the list of graduates during the commencement address. I will omit the usual greetings and thanks and get right down to business. I believe I have a pretty good grasp on just how many of you came here to listen to me speak today. Hi, Mom. As we have noted, it's not usual for a faculty member to be the commencement speaker. One might think then that you were about to hear some insight into the workings of the faculty mind, to hear me represent their views. I polled some of them, and there was one universal suggestion: keep it short. I ask you, graduates, why didn't some of them keep it short in the last 4 years? Conrad Gabera has yet to do a lecture in 50 minutes. And some of you are muttering out, why didn't you keep it short last semester, Seneker? I did this once before, a graduation speech. I was a lieutenant on the sheriff's patrol, and I'd been asked by the 8th graders at a rural school near Kansas City, let me tell you, a thing like that will make you nervous. All those parents, teachers, I clearly remember saying to myself, I'm glad that's over. Last year, as outgoing Faculty Senate President, I gave a short goodbye speech to the class, and it was inside the auditorium because of threatening weather. And believe me, Dr. Atkus, there's an advantage to that arrangement, because in the auditorium, the faculty sits behind you. They may be asleep, but you never know it. Someone will nudge Jack Sperlin now. I have last year's speech in my pocket. It came to me that if they liked it last year, I might just give it again. There would be a few who thought it sounded familiar, but they wouldn't ever say anything because they wouldn't be sure where they heard it. And none of you were here last year. And it is short. But I can't really give that speech again. I talked last year about the emotions that I had felt from recently being a pallbearer for one of my old professors, Dr. Leland Geyer. And I tried to express how much I had appreciated all that he'd done for me during those short years, some in the classroom and some by example and advice outside the classroom. And Dr. Geyer, I still appreciate it, but I can't give that speech again. In that speech, I said that all there really was left to do now was to say goodbye. And for some of you, that's true, and today is goodbye, and you and we will never see each other again. But that's not the thought I want to emphasize. That's not how I want to leave it. Please don't say goodbye. And I'm absolutely serious. Don't say goodbye to us. Don't leave your vitality. Stay on for a sort of graduate school, if you wish. And I don't mean that Southern has a degree program in graduate studies, but we can have a graduate's school here where it is understood that the attainment of the undergraduate degree is just the beginning, or the commencement, if you will, of an even deeper association. And that's what I mean when I say don't say goodbye. It's very important to us and very important to you that you matriculate for the years to come. I was once police chief in what was the most rapidly growing city in the state. And I thought after leaving that I hoped it would continue to grow and to really amount to something as the years went on, and that it couldn't help but look better on a resume to have been chief in that city, now that it was a sprawling and vibrant metropolis in its own right. And to some degree that has happened. I was chief at another city, which I visited last year, and an interstate has been built right across what had been the main thoroughfare. No off-ramp, just a big dirt fill with pavement and guardrails, and the old roadway was lined with empty buildings and weeds. And I thought maybe I should start leaving that one off my resumes. What had once been proud and full of promise was now fallow and something to be deliberately underemphasized. And this is just like the classroom. Some of you already have my point, but I'm going to go on. Look behind me. Don't you wish we were over there so we could look over at the nice side of the stadium? I've often thought that. Not that it's a bad view, but it's clearly unfinished. It's been that way for a long time now, or so it seems. But it's not as unfinished as it looks. The heart of it is there. The foundation was built strongly enough to take the added structure later on. It was planned that way. And this is, if anything, the most beautiful campus, one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. People work hard at keeping it that way. And it's no accident that the building styles match and are spaced where they are. I saw the master plan for this campus 17 years ago, and at that time there were awkward distances between the main campus buildings because the wings and additions of the future had not then been built, as most are now. But it was planned that way. You don't have a beautiful campus by accident or by erecting buildings haphazardly. You don't get a meaningful academic environment that way either. You don't get an institution that thrives and survives and grows in stature without the long-term investment of planning and support by those who care about it, who themselves have an investment in it and a reason to see its reputation enhanced, like you. You can visit either of those two cities you wish in future years. Your own standing can be enhanced by your association with the one, or you can return to weeds and an interstate bypass. Your degree can be from one of the most prestigious and academically vibrant colleges in the nation, or it can be from one people try to forget. I suggest to you that you have a more vested interest in Missouri Southern State College than we have. And in a few minutes, Dr. Leon is going to invest you with the degrees and the rights and the privileges appertaining thereto. But now I'm going to invest you with something else that you will have forever: memories. I invest you with the quickening of pulse as the Lion Pride Band swept out onto this field with drums and trumpets striking the nerves all the way to your backbone. And I encumber you with the memory of crisp autumn air as you walked between buildings or sat for a quiet moment under a tree, perhaps over by the mansion. Recall the excitement of the new semester and the faces of those who shared it with you. Some faces already growing dim, but of friends, characters, and clowns, and competitors. I suggest that you will never forget the taste of the scrambled eggs in the college cafeteria. When we see you after their ceremonies, say thanks if you will. We hope you can. But don't say goodbye. It is written that where your treasure is, there your heart is also. And it's not your money that I'm asking for, though I have in the past, and I would not hesitate to do so again because I do believe in what we're doing here. I want something more. I want you to be absolutely unable to forget us, so that you will become our graduate students in an honors program for Missouri Southern itself. Join us. Make alumnus a brand new word. Fall into step along with those already marching towards a tremendous future for Missouri Southern State College. And I refuse to say goodbye. I say, God bless you, friends, and thank you.